Alright. Let's go. No time waste. So, yesterday off stream, I took a little bit of time to try to optimize things. So, I messed around with... Give me a second, I'll find it. With this, I use this. I guess I could put it behind a variable. Hi MB. Let's make a global variable for the profiler. Or do I? Do I even want? Nah. Alright. I worked a little bit on that. The main idea for the profiler stuff was that I went into... Fuck, wording. Brain. I did some optimization. And I managed to skim down the time for processing a little bit. Right now I have two main issues when it comes to speed and processing that I think I can fix. Oh, maybe we can take a look. I kept one of the record. So that's essentially my best score. So I run it on each core of the parser. So of course the lower we go, the slower it gets. And that's for the first version, so that's the worst one. Let's zoom in a bit. So essentially what we find whenever we look at this is that mostly the issue that we have is with CAST, which is not surprising. And it's with Syndex. Now that's not surprising to me because Syndex, the way that it works when you look under the hood, is that it's essentially just a translation layer for a call within the library. So in places where maybe it would have been smarter to implement inside of Python, inside of the module, right? So that's the module, that's our script, and that's the library. In places where it would have been smarter to implement it inside of the module instead of throwing it over to an actual call, an actual C call that might take more time just because you're making a new call to C, they will just throw it. So there's a big optimization that we might be able to do there. Now, there's two ways to go about that optimization, and I'm not going to delve into that right now. But the first way that we could optimize is we could do the reprocessing. So essentially, I was thinking about that. I'm just saying it so that I don't have it on my mind anymore. So we would essentially process everything until we get... until we get here, right? Until we get at the place where we actually need to parse something, and then we run this, but like separately at the end, and we do everything together, and then we do the other part. Like that might be a way to optimize this, because we don't have to deal with as many calls. And if we can, I'm wording this poorly. If we can make this outside of Python, we might have an optimization. Anyway, I don't care. I don't care. Why am I saying this? I don't give a shit. Okay, fuck. Remove that from my mind. Okay, I did the optimization thing, and right now we have a bit more performance. Our focus today. Highlights. Okay? We need to have highlights. So, I don't know if we wrote it down somewhere. And maybe testing a more local table engine would be funny. But anyway, it's not written anywhere. Okay, Fuck me. So, our system... our system should have the capability of having highlights. And when I'm saying highlights, I just want to be clear in what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay. Within this, Bootlin knows that this is not important, right? This part is not important, but this, we need a highlight there, right? This, we need a highlight there, because we can click on it, and that's where we expect to click on it. Like blonde highlight in here. Oh my god. Okay. No! Anyway. So we need to... I know you're memeing. So we need to do that. Because right now what we have is this. Right? We have the selection for this. So the idea for highlight... yes, all clickable stuff, more information should have visual clues. Yes. So the idea for highlight is that we need two numbers to be able to do an highlight. And here there's some choosing that we can do. We can like think about this a bit. So for the highlight, we will words. Okay. The two first values that we have whenever we have an item. Let's zoom a bit. Okay, it doesn't even fucking zoom for real. The two things that we have line number start, line number end, and then we have character start, character end. So that's cool. This gives us a limited string that we can then do highlight start using only character. We don't need to store the line, we only need character. So we count the number of character until we do the highlight start. And then we could maybe store the length of the highlight or maybe the character end. That's up to us. It's whichever is simpler for us. I don't know, both do the same thing. Yeah, who gives a fuck? Well, yes, it would work, because all that we have to do is to count the new line as backslash new line, or slash new line, I don't remember. And do we need multi-line highlight? I don't think that it's a question of do we need. It's a question of we know it will happen. It will fuck us. So let's just get over with. Right? It's going to happen that we will need that. It just will. Yep. Refuck ourselves. So like how we count the new line might be something where we need to think about it, because if we count a new line, like I don't remember if it's slash or backslash n, but let's just say that it's slash n. It's backslash n. It's backslash n. Like a new line. Yes, okay. So a new line, do we count that as 1, 2? Or do we count that as 1? Right, so that's... anyway. My daughter really doesn't want to sleep today. Give me half a second, she's crying a bit. I don't know if it's for a valid reason, and I don't want her to think that just crying will get me. Okay, I think she lost her... Okay, she shut the fuck up the second I got out my chair, so she's probably good. One would hope. Because I ain't getting up. Anyway. Where was I? Yes, fuck optimization. We don't need to think about that now. We need to think about highlight. Highlight, 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 highlight. So we need to implement all the highlights within every call and do it in a smart way. Now, I have no fucking clue if we have implemented everything remotely close to this. Anywhere. Have we started on this? I'm thinking about too much things. My brain's going everywhere. I don't need this. Okay, first of all, the highlight that we have in code. Is it... Is it linked to the... No, it should be linked to the AST, not the tag. Or maybe not. Wait, what's the logic of that? Wait a second. So bridge tag should say where you start, where you end. Aren't we missing characters there? Wait, let's go in main. Just to be sure that it's not because I'm fucking around with a bunch of things. So you're telling me that we don't have a real character start and character end? What? I'm smoking crack right now. Okay, why is it being slow? Okay. So the characters start and end is only used for extracting the code. Okay. Okay, cool. So first thing first, we need to implement character start in bridge tag. We don't need character end because we have the code inside of tag. So obviously we know when it ends. Yes, okay. Okay. So let's go fuck around with the values. Online start. Do we even need line end? Oh shit, true. We were using line end for our highlight. And without it, it would be more complicated to generate it. So we need character start and character end. Okay. Okay, okay. Okay, I think I'm getting it. I think I'm getting it. Okay. 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 I'm gonna say okay a lot of times. Can you do substring search in the tag? Lines, range. Yes. But the idea here... Okay. I agree with you. But my idea, my design right now... look, maybe you'll disagree with me. And if so, I'd like to have your opinion. When I'm thinking about our design, I'm thinking about this file. Okay? This huge fucking H file with a bunch of shit. All of those are going to be generated as soon as we open the page. Because my idea is, like you saw how we have our page before. At the bottom of the page that we already have, we're essentially going to have exactly bootlin. So whenever it does this, do I want it to do like substring search, tag, and all of that shit, and try to find shit? No. So the idea at this point is there's multiple questions. There's like multiple points in this fight between more data and more processing, where there's like the pure processing, we're only giving you the strings of code. And you know that they're in the page, good luck. Which this, from my view, is bad, because there might be 2 times the same code, so that wouldn't work. Then there's the next step, where you give a line number, right? So you give it a line number, and then it does a substring search to precisely find it. That's an idea. There's the next step in that thought, which would be line number start plus end. And for the characters, you would sub. Nah, that would be dumb. If we are to sub, then we do line number for the start plus character number start. So we know where it starts, and then we can just fucking stamp our shit on top of it. So you don't have to do a sub because you have the character start. But you still have to do, like, to calculate the length of your code in order to know where it starts and where it ends. That's still... I don't know. I don't know, are we asking too much there? And then there's the pure line start. Start plus end. Character start plus end. I put this in the center, but it wasn't because I wanted to say that it's more balanced, but this feels more logical. Because you don't have to search. You have the line start, you have the end. And then, if you want to highlight the... If you want to highlight the full function, you would just get the length of whatever the fuck you're looking at of your code. But we also have to count the new lines. I don't know if that's an issue for us in JS. Well, depending on how we encode things, it would not be. Like, I don't know. From my point of view, more data is not a problem. But there is a world... Yes. The server does nothing. Server does no calculation. In my head, the server, it has the values. The API is dispensing the value. That's all it does. And the rest is for us to play with client side. So that's why, like in a big array, like in this big thing, you know, when I think about this big thing now, do I want to run a length command on each of these? That sounds rough. And the big reason why I want everything to be client-side is because I'm tagged highlight. It will. But the server doesn't do calculation. We need to store it. So if you want to get to like my conclusion on the server, besides SQL commands, the server is impotent. It does nothing. So just assume that. So we would store the highlight. We already have a place for that. Fuck it. We're just going to store it in full. So start a function, end a function with the character number for each, then followed by the highlight. We're gonna have it all. Then store character and character string compare find and replace. Yeah, that's my guess. Like there's some place where there's value to do a character search, but those are not going to be like general things like that. I would see it like we could do a search where we say everything related to folio, all the functions related to folio, search this. Like that would make sense to me. Within each functions, but yeah. My brain is going everywhere, okay? Am I on drugs? Well, technically, starting to feel that I might have taken my fucking meds twice. What the fuck? Actually, I took it late. I didn't take it twice, I just took it late. I hope. Alright, let's rework this. It's going to fail spectacularly, and it's going to be awesome. Okay, first thing. Bridge tag, we need a character start and a character end. If the client is doing all the work, we must help it with as much data we can to remove as much work from it. Yep, that's the mind. Yes, I agree. So let's add character start, character end to... Why the fuck did I do this? To bridge tag, because it's the one that needs that. So let's go start by changing the design. I don't know what are the errors that it found. Oh, bruh. Sorry, sneezing time. Do you have an opinion on Christine Ferrechette? That's the name of our new premier, right? I don't know her at all. I don't know what to think about her. Like, I know that she was less radical than she was against Drainville, I think. Less independentist, so it's good, but... If you look at all the tables, I thought we had character start and then somewhere. I think we, where it is in line. Like, I stored it in line in order to extract the code. So, and when I say line, I mean in Python, not in this. Somehow. Like, that's crazy to me, but I guess we did. I like that she won because she wants to reopen immigration and my daughter's boyfriend would like to come back. He was on a student visa that expired. Oh, man. Rough for your daughter. God damn. But like she, like her, I know that she comes from a background of economy. So, like, I like that. But also, like, the ship is burning at the CAC, right? I would like so much for the CAC and the liberals provincially to just fucking say, you know what? Fuck it, we're fusing. We're making some kind of crazy coalition and we're running under the same fucking flag. That would be so good. But hey, I'm dreaming in colors right now. Let's go to start. Yeah, that's the little cheap ack. Oh, I wanted to check that too. Bank of Canada real quick. I want to know when their next announcement is. Oh, she's going away. Like, she has a... There was a video on YouTube about this, and I liked it, and I wrote a little message. Even though it's not important. March. When's the next one? When's the next decision? Next schedule announcement, April 29th. Okay. We need to listen to this one, because it will tell us if Mark Carney was just being... trying to be electable, I guess. Or if there was a mind to it. Because if Tiff McClam comes out and tells us, brothers and sister, it was on a knife's edge, but we didn't have to shove the rates up, well, then we will know that Mark Carney was in the know and that he was not retarded. All right. Because I'm open to be called a retard. I'm open to that. That's how I am. Alright. So just binding it to the char pause should do the trick. Now the only question here is whenever we do code, I don't think that the cat twists in power for the next election. Liberals will win and the world will burn. Liberal in Quebec, the same as Ottawa. I know they're not the same, but I don't understand what people mean. It's okay. I don't understand. Could you cue me on that? I feel like I'm retarded. Okay. Let me phrase this before. And it's okay, I want to talk about this. If we look at the... Okay, I'm young. Okay, I'm very young. I'm sorry. If I look at the timeline of my life, like that's the start of my life. Like early 2000, I have no fucking idea what life is. Then I have like a little start where we have Jean Charest. Am I ordering this right? I think we are. We have Jean Charest. And Jean Charest seems to be doing okay. And he's like embroiled in some corruption scandal. And then we have Pauline Marois. Whoops. Pauline Marois. Which is essentially like the biggest fucking dumpster fire I've ever seen in my life. Then we have Couillard. I know Jean Charest was way longer, it's just that I don't remember. And we have Couillard. And Couillard seems to be okay. Again, there's like the backdrop of corruption. But my issue is that when we accuse the Liberal Party of Quebec... Well, we say it in reverse in French. Anyway, when we accuse the Liberals of Quebec of corruption, I don't even know if that's true. Like, they've never been, like, formally charged for anything. Not charged, that's not a... Found culpable. Like, nobody went to jail. And I'm sorry, they don't have the power to rig the judicial system. So, like, what the fuck? Is that just a is just a vibe, an attack against the Liberal? And if that's just a vibe, then what's the issue against the provincial Liberal? Like, I don't get why they are bad. Like, they're not as good as the Liberals federally, that I'm sure, because the Liberal federally are essentially fucking reborn Jesus. But, like, I don't get it. Like, the CAC to me was good, but they were good just because financially they did the job. Socially, to me, they were bad, but they were not as bad as a Parti Québécois, because Parti Québécois would absolutely fucking crash and burn our country big time. So, like, I'm confused. What's the accusation for the Liberal? Anyway. Are more to the right than the Liberals in Ottawa. Okay. Yeah, they did, Okay, I agree that at least the liberals back when I was young were really right wing, like financially. That's for sure. I mean, nobody goes onto a fucking how did we call it, austerity arc without 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 being right wing financially. But there was no culprit because I don't remember. Honestly, like this doesn't make sense. Like I need to look into this. Let's take just 2 minutes. Oh, Charest. Because whenever I hear Charest speak, he's not a retard. He is not a retard. Controversies. Okay. Okay, that's very... Charest's third term was marked by several allegations of questionable financing from the Quebec Liberal Party, as well as a multitude of scandal in the construction sector in Quebec. The loss of 39 billion billion from the Caisse de dépôt de placement de Québec and the... Wait, what the fuck? How would it go on his lap? He doesn't have control over it. Yeah. In the Marc Bellemont's former Justice Minister affair, Bellemont alleged in 2010 that he had been pressured by Quebec Liberal fundraiser during the appointment of judges in 2003. In response, Bastarache Commission. I remember that. When Charest testified in defense, Charest, however, refused to launch a public inquiry into the coalition political party in the construction industry, despite 2000 to get a 7th independent judge inquiry. Okay, Charest financially launched an inquiry in 2012. Charbonneau. Okay. Understand that all party did at some point do dodgy stuff. Yes, okay. Okay. The point when we say all parties did dodgy stuff, I agree. There's like an underlying human thing. Like if red represents how bad things are, just by the fact that human beings are the people making up parties, there's going to be fuck shit happening like throughout all parties. But the issue here is we're comparing, like right now what I read means nothing. Like the loss from the Caisse de dépôt et placement, that to me, at least from my, like I don't know anything about it, I need to read, but like Caisse de dépôt et placement is independent from the provincial government. Like they it's not as if fucking the prime minister can just bust the door and be like, you're going to do this, right? They cannot do this. So like it's not even a thing. And then you have like half of this paragraph was about oh, they don't want to make an inquiry. Well, who the fuck would, right? If you honestly think that you didn't do anything bad, you wouldn't want an inquiry because it's a fucking waste of time and it keeps it in the media. So like I understand why you would refuse for a long time to do it. So like I wonder, because sometimes we compare like literal fucking terrorists, which is the Parti Québécois, to like human error, right? Like I'm not saying that the fuck shit wasn't fuck shit, I'm just saying like how much. No, he is not. That is why I think I knew about the fraud. All his friend profited from all those independent decision. Some party are dodgy or stuff than other, more of them. Sure. It is independent investments from just the research to attract company, create jobs, an example. Wait. Okay. Like, keep in mind, I'm debating something that I don't know. I'm just like putting points up. Because when I read you, I'm like, I feel like maybe I'm seeing something that you're not actually depositing, but okay. When you say his friend profited from X, it's like, that to me doesn't mean anything. Here's why. Let's make a very simple, very simple argument. Let's just think, okay? 4 years down the line, somebody comes and says, all the businesses and the organization that Carney was a part of benefited from the fact that he was in office, and all his friends and the people that say that knows him benefited from a lot of his decision. What the fuck does that mean? First, Mark Carney is friend with half of the fucking global population, it seems. As all leaders are. Second, like, they profited in which way? In like, the loss of that money was just stolen and nobody made lawsuits with it? Like, that doesn't make fucking sense, right? I'm just trying to understand. And when we say independent, like, I'm sorry, unless I have a huge misunderstanding about how, like, as a depot work and most crown corporation, is that they literally are like fucking firewall between like the government and their institution. And when we say they can be strongly suggested, the idea is not really suggested. It's more, we will make legislation to make something happen. Like, that's the big thing. Whenever they talk about the caisse de dépôt de placement, when it comes to it's the REM, the last investment they did, right? The REM, well, the last investment, or one of the big investment they did. When it came to that, the big point was that the Caisse de dépôt de placement had literal fucking laws to back them up and give them extraordinary power in order to do things. So that's why they were able to do this. It's not because the government just fucking, you're gonna invest in this. Like, yeah, that would be bad. But we would need to know how. Because like, when we say Appel d'offre was bent, like, there's time where it is fair to, well, it is fair. You should always make laws and change your rules if ever they're bad. But we could see a law that says, to be able to do an appel d'offre, no, you need to do an appel d'offre to buy X. And essentially, there's one person that sells it. You have no choice in the matter. You're going to buy it through that person. And you're not going to fucking wait for how many months going through all the checks in order to, like, there's ways that you can make it fit. So I wonder what actually happened there. But I guess we would need to actually fucking read the thing. Unless I'm going to be the fucking liberal Giga defender. But like, I'm fucking torn because the CAC are not bad. It's just their social side is fucking garbage. And I understand that that's their appeal, but goddamn. Anyway, was it connected to Okay. Can we have an aftermath? Commission final report in November 2015 led to several reforms. These included the creation of the Autorité des Marchés Publics. Oh, okay. I thought it was Autorité des Marchés Financiers. I was like, it existed for a long fucking time. What the fuck are we talking about? To oversee public contract monitoring committee reported in 2018 that approximately 70 to 80% of the 60 recommendation had been implemented. Good. At least partially. Okay. An OECD review in 2020 examined Quebec's progress on public procurement integrity and noted advances but also remaining gaps. Implementation has been described as partial, especially when reducing real reliance on private engineering firm and okay. Additional judicial income. The engineer from SEMA was for bid rigging public contract. Okay. The audit engineer revoked the license to the framework group SM. Okay. Okay, but can we like... God damn, we're not going to have like an actual who went to jail? You're telling me that nobody fucking went to jail? Are you fucking kidding me? Watch it live back then. Yeah, but that's an issue, right? You know that the media are not going to tell you. I'm not saying that the media is bad, I'm just saying... Like, no media is going to be out there saying, well, maybe that's just normal, maybe that's just how it works. Like, they don't say that. One of the point of the commission was that if you témoigner, you've got immunity. Immunity. Yeah, but still, like, okay, I doubt that that was just blanket, but if true, you could still say those people did this, and it's a statement of fact. Judicially, okay. Le HUPAC. Yes, but those were separate things for the Laval and I remember Laval, but like those were different. Like it's because it works so bad for us, right? It's a little bit like I don't know. If I look into the scandals from Justin Trudeau, will I fucking find that there was like literally fucking nothing? Like, it's my feeling. Like, each time that I see somebody like fucking lit up this shit and I look into it, it's like, I don't know. Like, I would need to see what the fuck was discovered. Came to light from what was discovered? Sure. Well, then why are they not talking about it here? That would be a very big thing. I don't know. Like, what are we talking about here? Are we literally talking about the fact that our companies were bribing internationally? What? Okay, I'll need to fucking read this for real one day. Anyway, it was a long time ago. I don't remember everything. It's just because I feel like it's fucking retarded, right? I feel like we're accusing people. So, okay, here's my feeling about things. We have those outstanding people, and there's going to be like 4,000 fucking rules. They're going to violate one, and yes, it's bad. It shouldn't happen. Everybody agrees that it's bad. But then those people do corrective action. They get thrown out if it's too bad, and we're like, holy fuck, the whole group is bad. The whole liberals are bad, federally or provincially or whoever the fuck. But governing will just make this happen, right? It will happen that people will do fuck shit. And sometimes you have to make like dumb decisions. Sometimes you just have to do things, right? Like financially, would it have been smart to fucking say no to Atkins Realis? To SNC-Lavalin? Like, when I say no, I mean like, say you don't get contract for 10 years. Like, for that, you would need to buck shit up real time. Because you're essentially destroying one of our, like, bigger international companies. So, like, I don't know. It feels retarded. Did you see the trash? I'll check, Sam. I'll check. Oh my god. Can I play this? Or will it, like, blow my fucking ears? I'm asking you, Sam. Yes, we did bribe in another country. You said company, but I think country. And Canada doesn't allow to do that anywhere in the world, even country where it's expected. Not the whole group, but the group has to self-filter their member. Yeah, but that already happens, right? If you know that some member or group or expose them. Yes, we already do that. It's not here, right? Okay, we'll look. Oh. Can I play it? Maybe. Oh. Ah, yes. Oh my god, it's Lego Star Wars. What the fuck? This part of the game is fun. Oh, whoops. Sorry. True. No, it doesn't happen. They keep the secret and expulse only when it's... Okay. I don't want to be rude here. Like, is this what we just fucking read? With this, if we put it in English. Like, the affair became public when the Globe and Mail published an article uncovering the allegation on 7th of February 2019, shortly after the person has been shuffled to another cabinet position as Minister of Veteran Affairs. Okay. Okay, of course, when it went out, they resigned. But, like, fuck. What are we... I don't know. Sorry. Oh, the political priority test? You've got a woman approach? Goddamn. Which of the following you care more about? Gender-based violence? Whether demands for social should be granted? What? What are... These means fucking nothing. Like, generally, gender-based violence. I don't want my daughter to be fucking raped. How much bureaucracy one has to go through to access self-care? I would click this, but for the wrong reason. Anyway, whether same-sex marriage or... okay. Whether enough is invested in Utah? Whether there is employment for everyone. That's the most brain-dead fucking select ever. Environmental price of medication. Brain-dead. Freedom of speech issues. Go drink. Fucking bleach. The salary of politicians. If you care about that, you must die. The gender wage gap. I don't know. How can you implement something for this? No. How easy it is to obtain debt and loan forgiveness. What? No? Whether the... I guess? Whether refugees are treated... Yes, that would be a big thing for me. Whether there is... Well, both. Both are important, I guess. Refugee? Affordable and free access to university education. Status of religion in society, I guess this. Helping implement welfare policies, fighting corruption in my country. I think that, like, that's one thing where people focus a lot, saying like, oh, we gotta fight corruption, we gotta fight corruption. But if there's like one way to display how little corruption there really is to see what Doge did. Doge didn't manage to find one bit of corruption, and they had access to the whole US government. They could go through everything, illegally of course, but they did. And they didn't find shit. They caught US aid, which is a legal thing. Anyway, like this in a modern democracy, it's just so fucking complicated to do corruption. People just don't. All right. I'm like a fucking woman, I guess. Nice. Okay. This... Why did they keep in the party? I can't believe that nobody in the party knew about this. No, of course they knew. That's why they shuffled his ass. Okay. Okay. Maybe it's just me that thinks like that. And Doge got the contract by being... Doge got the contract by being legal. I don't know what you mean by that. I'm talking about Elon Musk. Elon Musk didn't get a contract for this. He was purely losing because of this. And yes, he got to do this because he was a big donor, but... I don't know, it doesn't... Like, my point is that the corruption that people think exists doesn't exist. There's a reason why every party in the fucking world comes in and says, oh, I'm going to find this in savings because I'm going to find it from corruption. And then they don't. I like how the survey implies all men are Republican assholes. Yeah, probably. That's probably the idea. Instead of just sending it to your post, they should have asked him to resign. Doge is not written like that. It's Doge like that. You can take a look. Maybe it's up. Yep. If ever you want me to hate Americans more than I do, remind me of the cutting of USAID. Like, they have a budget, of course. But like 40 millions, really? It's nothing. Like, where the fuck does this come from? Oh, fuck. I don't even trust this. Anyway. Like, no, they didn't find anything. They didn't look where the fraud was going on. Wait. What the fuck? Sorry, Doge. But in my mind, it's Doge as in dodging investigation for... What the fuck? I don't know what you mean by that. They didn't investigate the Department of Defense because you cannot oh my god. You're going down a path that I don't like. Oh man. Oh man, we need data. We need data. Ah, we're going off vibes. We're vibing. Okay. Let's start by the very beginning. If Doge could have found a left-wing, trans-loving, corrupt thing, they would, right? They would have. Do we agree that even in a small capacity, like we're not talking about billions of dollars, we're not talking about the quantity of money here, we're talking about sending someone to jail. If there was, they would have found it. When I'm saying that, I'm not saying that they are perfect. I'm just saying that there was a lot of push for this. So, like, I don't know how you're... Fuck. I feel like you're not thinking this through. I had the talk. I have someone I care about that's in the Canadian military. And they were talking to me about how complicated it was for procurement and to have anything. And that it was like more complicated than like other government departments. And I was like, yes. Yes, because we don't want to doubt an institution as important as the military. And like, I agree that we could cut things down to make it more streamlined. But there needs to be like a big oversight. It's always needed and it's important. And then we had a big talk about how, like, maybe reducing the overhead, the quantity of bureaucracy could help in a way that it would still be safe so that there's not a lot of corruption. Fraud and corruption is so fucking hard to do. Like, I don't know how you think that it can happen. Okay, let me be precise. I need to be precise. When we're talking about fraud and corruption, we're not talking about somebody charging more for a service that they only give to the government. That's called doing business. So I'll give you a little hint there, okay? Whenever, maybe this has never happened to anybody, but whenever you have a business and you sell a product to your local government, you will sell it to the maximum reasonable price. So if it's a special product that only them order, yes, you will make bigger margins of profit than you would have if it was any other buyer. That's just how it is. Like, that's a fact. And I don't think that that's fraud. I just think that that's the inefficiency in how their process fucking goes. It's a pain. It's complicated. That's what happened with it. When I'm talking about fraud, I'm talking about the guy who is in charge of signing the checks and choosing who to buy is literally like, we're going to buy from him because I get a kickback. That doesn't happen. I'm sorry, that just doesn't. I thought that Joe's was asked to cut the budget, not find fraud. Dodge is, remember the quotes. Fraud, in which order? Fraud, no, it's... Fraud, find fraud, something and abuse. Fraud and abuse. What's the middle thing here? Fraud, corruption and fraud and abuse. No, it's not corruption. There's another one. Abuse. Waste, fraud, and abuse. That was their word. Waste, fraud, and abuse. I'm sure you remember. For waste, fraud, and abuse. So, yes, they were there to find fraud. The military is very efficient. I disagree. I know that everything is complicated in defense with those large budget and fraud. It has been shown multiple times that there's extreme or false billing or accepted by IUP. Knowing it was fraud, was there a kickback? I don't know. Also, when a director or minister get a kickback or judge intervening after intervening on the decision, is fraud in my eyes. Oh, yes, but there's no proof that that happens. Right? Okay. Two things I want to say. Number one, when you say... No. Oh, fuck. Okay. I need to focus here. This, getting a kickback after a job, it doesn't happen, but there's an appearance of it. So in the US, it's worst. In Canada, we don't have it as bad, and I'm only talking about the appearance, right? So in the US, you have the military industrial complex, right? So you have a bunch of company, military industrial complex. You have a bunch of company that makes a bunch of weapons, and what they need in order to know what the fuck they need to do is military guys. So your military, when they retire or if they want to make more cash, they will end up there. And after they're done there, they might just go back to the military, right? Because they're a fucking officer. They're high ranking. That's why they were like hired there. But the fact that those two groups share, like they share the same pool of people, right? So that pool of people, person of purple, well, that pool of people that is shared between the two will give this appearance of corruption. Has it ever happened? Probably. Is it super extra common? I don't think so. Why would it be? Like, would you imagine how fucked you would be if you got caught doing that? Because you get that whenever there's somebody that comes up and that there's an investigation, they're gonna pull all your fucking logs. And they're going to find that this company said, oh well, you did good for us whenever you were in office. So let us do good for you. And this is going to be them fucking hanging themselves. Boom! $1 billion fucking slap on the ass. The other guy, prison. Martial law. Okay? Like, that, if it happens, maybe it happens. Like, maybe it happens sometime. It's not common. Like, the way that people talk about it is as if it's a fucking circle jerk and everybody does this all the time and it's just let me do corrupt shit for fun, loans. When in reality, those contracts are like highly specialized fucking things. And maybe, yes, maybe you need the ex fucking Lockheed Martin worker, like higher up CEO, to work in the military to help them choose what is the right fucking thing, and maybe their choice is between Lockheed and that other company. But does that mean that he's going to choose Lockheed just for the lols, or because he thinks he's going to be paid afterward? You have no fucking proof of that, and nobody has, and nobody, like, the link doesn't exist. We need to make the link, and there's probably a lot of investigation going that way. Like, anyway, so that's one part. Fuck. One part. One thing that I've talked with that friend about the Canadian Army, the issue, you need to remove the issue of fraud and abuse, okay? You need to remove that from your head. The issue is not fraud. I'll give you an example, okay? So, let's find... Give me a second. Oops. I'll address the comment afterward. Google Map. Okay. Let's say that you're a military guy, okay? And you're deployed, like here. Not deployed, but... Oh, fuck. Wait, my computer just fucking had a bad day. You're there, okay? And you're on a base. And then they tell you, we need a French-speaking guy over here because by legislation, we need to have one French-speaking guy whenever there's a course about anything. You're not going to do anything, but we need that French-speaking guy, and you're the only guy available now. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a big ass truck that will guzzle an imaginable amount of gasoline. We're going to ask you to drive all the way there and back for 2 hours. You're going to be paid the whole way through doing nothing. Just for a legislation. And it could have been like done in so many better ways, but because the system is so complicated, so hard to go through, they cannot go into these optimization. That's where the issue is. That's where the issue is for the military. So 2 hours was the course. That length, that's that's fucking 7 hours, okay? But like that happens so often. Like I got someone got fucking flown in, okay, here to speak French. Like it's unhinged. So when you have this and you're like, where the fuck is our money going when we do things with the military? That's where. That's because there's maybe a bit too much things. Yup, I'm sure you can. Hey, happy you're here. Okay. Hey, Matsis, the debate is good for you, okay? The debate is good for you. Okay. Let's read above. Yes, proof. No proof doesn't mean that it didn't happen. Yes, but it does not mean that it happened. A good froster would know how to hide his tract. How do we know that the Holocaust happened, MB? How do we know that the Holocaust happened? Right? The idea of our system is that it cannot be hidden. You can ask anything about to Matsis. I trust him. Trust him a lot. Hello. Hello, Dmitry. How's it going? At least hiding enough to not let the enough evidence to allow action. Yes, but that's... I'm going to read more and I'm going to like make a TLDR on why it cannot happen. I'm doing great, besides the fact that I'm getting sick a bit, but I'll survive. Okay, getting a job is not automatically after leaving. Okay, you were still speaking about military contract in the US, so I'll keep that in mind. Getting a job is not automatically after leaving with someone whom you've gained a contract is not by itself a fraud, but when the contract is bad, overpaying, changing. Would you investigate a company that provide all your weapon for war? Yes. No more F-35 technicians for you. No more missile. You get that this is not the negotiation. Yeah, I'm drawing them myself because it lags when I use the auto one. Okay. Let's do a TLDR of what happens, okay? Let's do a TLDR. Let's say that Lockheed, okay, does big-ass corruption. And there's a prosecutor from the federal government, the United States, that's like getting in. Bitch, I want your records. Your ass will be grass. You've been doing corruption, fraud, abuse. And they're like, no more missile for you. How many milliseconds before there's like a decree, a fucking federal decree that's like, we're just going to steal your whole company. We're just going to nationalize it. Full on socialism for 2 minutes just for you. Like, you cannot do that. That's not an option. There's points like there's so many ways that I can do this in another way, right? let's say that there was a paid bridge somewhere. There are over here. Fuck, I don't know Ontario much. If you have a paid bridge and you're just going to close it indefinitely for the lulz because you've been bought by someone, the government's going to fuck you up. You cannot do that, right? You cannot kill just a big part of the economy just for fun. You're going to be fucked up. And like, depending on how bad things get, the government will bend to fuck you up. The government can do illegal shit. They can, and they will. If you're too retarded. I don't know how to make that clear. The governments are rules. Governments and laws are rules that we all agree on. Whenever those rules don't work, the agreement breaks, and we end up doing whatever the fuck we want. It's better when we have those rules because they increase predictability. But whenever the rules create the inverse to an unsustainable point, that's when we do just fucked up shit, and it just works. When I worked for an IT consultant company, we had a contract with the government. The government hired another company to check what we were billing. Yes, it just happened that my company hired the daughter of her husband to an important position. We charged so much. There were bug and would have been included. I got in trouble because I reclassified so many change as bug. They were instead of change. Those companies were never charged with fraud, even if it was. Everybody knew, but no actionable proof. Okay. So maybe it was old enough that it's not the case. Modern contracts, my understanding of how they work, there's two parts of the contract. There's the main contract and there's the overrun. And normally, when the politicians should speak about a price, they should give this one. So at the end of the day, as long as whatever the fuck you're doing fits within this, you're good. And I don't care. Nobody cares. That's just the truth. So if we're doing these change instead of bugs and charging more, you know what? Fuck it. That's just how it is. But whenever we go up from here and we're having cost overruns, that's when these things should be investigated. That's when the onus should be reversed. And that's why these contracts are made that way. It's because the onus will be reversed once there's the overrun. So look, I don't know how the contract that you were under worked. Well, not you were under, but the company you work for was under worked. But at the end of the day, if it stayed within the range, that was calculated, expected, that's what we thought, right? When we see something like Saclic, which had massive overruns and wasn't like a crazy fuck up, that's when the game changed. Main equals spec. The contract is being realized. The client will ask for change, but sometime a bug can be a bug and sometime it is a change. But if all bugs are classified as change, this is bad. Yes, but then I would say that our issue is then with how we make the rules for procurement, right? A company, okay, maybe let's word it that way. If your procurement protocol are so garbage that you're unable to see the difference between those things, maybe they need to be rethinked. And I wouldn't even blame a company for trying to make a buck off of it if it's not, like, ludicrous. Okay, let's make an example. I'm not saying I did this. Wink, wink. Let's say that a provincial institution comes to you and want to buy computers. And let's say that you know that they would be good with a computer that is $1,000 each. But you're like, I could make way the fuck more profit if I sell them the $1,200 computer. Am I doing fraud, abuse, or doing anything bad by choosing the one that I do more profit as a seller, and whenever there's this procurement process, I just give them my higher price? Am I bad? The procurement process is supposed to be there to, like, get a good answer on this. If you get the contract, it should be because you are A, the cheapest, and B, you're not going to fuck this up. So, like, if there's a problem in the process, that's a problem with the process. Fix the process. Don't blame the companies for trying to make money. I don't know, I'm confused. Did I lower the sound too much for the music? I don't know, maybe I see it too much from the other side, from the business side. Where it just feels like we're always saying that everybody's a crook. But in reality, we have no fucking proof of anything, and everybody is doing the thing that you would expect them to do in this situation. God damn, we made some fucking way. Doge, SNC Lavalin, Caisse de dépôt de placement, fucking Charest. All of that because Bank of Canada. Okay. In that case, no. If you sell 1,000 computer without the network card installed, but in a box, and then charge to install them while the contract said computer with net. Yes, I agree. Okay. Okay, that's different, right? That's fraud. That's where I want you to go. That's where. Perfect. I love you, MB. I love you. Okay. If you have a contract that states I need this, and in reality, you gave this, like without the corner, there is a legal thing that I can go after here. Me, as the government, if I have good prosecutors and good, like, institution, which we should bolster, which we should have, I would be able to look at this and say, what the fuck? This ain't what I paid for. And then either sue their ass or get them to fix it. That's the process. Because right now what you're talking about is pure fraud. And we, like, this is easy to... Do you understand how easy your example is to diagnose? And okay. I know... My chat is frozen right now. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say something like, real life is more complex. It's not as simple. But the truth is, word the contract in a good way, and this won't happen. That's all. And there's a process where we need to get better at wording contract and at making things good, especially for the big things. It's not honest. It would not be honest because it would be fraud. I agree. Humans are selfish animal, and there's nothing bad about that. That is exactly what the consulting company I was working did for Bug and Shade. Yes! Okay? Yes! I would agree with you that they did this. But here, My complaint is not with... my lead complaint would be that there's two things here. There's the government making up the contract, and there's the consulting company looking at the contract and being like, bro, we have that fiscal range to fucking max. We're going to max the shit out of it. Bro, they wrote this like shit. We're making money. Ha. Of course, everybody will. Everybody would. So here, the issue is, government, please fix. If the contract, okay, let's say that the contract was written correctly, and that it was written in such a way where there is a real difference between a bug and a change and all that, then it is fraud, and then I would want them to go to fucking jail, or pay it back, or pay it with a penalty, right? But we need to get better at finding these, and we need to get better at making contracts. Because a lot of things that we see in the news always ends up being like, they wrote a retarded contract, and they ended up being fucked by it. The real problem with the defense contract is, in fact, that they are made by military officers and not by lawyers. They know what they need, but they don't know how to proceed. I would agree. That's my understanding. And the person in charge of making sure that bugs were bugs and change were not bugs just happened to be the father to new hires. So we blame the victim. No. Okay. Like, I have a question for you. MB. I'm sure. No, I'm not. But who cares? François-Philippe Champagne right now is being accused of having a conflict of interest because his wife works on Alto, on the high-speed rail. Do you believe that by the mere fact of François-Philippe Champagne writing the budget and his wife, like that's pretty big fucking deal, working, like being vice president, I think, of Alto, do you think that that's a conflict of interest? Or do you think that there might just be ways that it could not be a conflict of interest? Like if we implement some kind of good barriers, if we implement good process, it might not be an issue. So what I'm asking for is the fact that they're married, is that mere fact an issue? My point is that no. My point is that things can look bad without being bad, and if they become bad, then that's an issue. Go after the bad thing. That is an appearance of conflicts of interest. Yes, they should have chosen someone else to not have this appearance of conflicts. Should they? That's a strong fucking word. I don't know. I don't know if I care that much. But it is not a conflict of interest. Okay. I can say that the appearance can be bad. Because to me, like, we're stretching the truth so much saying that it's a conflict of interest, because we're essentially saying that being finance minister means that everything related to the government, even if it's literally a crown corporation making something that you finance, means that you are the one that wrote it in the budget and that you're like masterminding everything. Like, that's retarded. Image and appearance is everything for the party. For a party, I don't think that there is something bad. There was something bad happening there in that specific case. Okay, image, I agree. I agree that the image is important. Okay. I'll go up. When we say that the firm that was there to check if there was fraud may have been like the daughter of the boss of the whatever, like, we need more, right? We need more. It might just be that the daughter knows a lot of shit about what her father was doing and has some competency, and it just so happened that it worked out for the job. But if there was like coordination or an understanding or like fraud, that's something that can be checked. That's something that we can like clear. Sometime behind appearance of conflict, there is a conflict. Yes, this is why an investigation is needed and a contract is needed, because then we can absolutely hammer the shit out and end up with a result, right? Like, at the end of the day, appearance is nothing. It's the reality that is important. And that reality can be decided by a prosecutor, an accused, and a judge. So that's how it is. And, okay, let's just go back up a bit, because you said a thing. So we blame the victim. The government was robbed, but it's because they had money. You just said that the government should have better contracts to not being robbed. No. Well, that's because you say... Okay. Here, the issue that I think that you're having in how you're thinking about this, I think that it's an issue of inputting morality where there is no morality. In a trade, so if you have two person, one says, I want bread, the other says, I have bread, I want money, and when there is an exchange, if both agree to the exchange, nothing was bad here. Nobody was robbed, even if the bread was high, if motherfucker over here accepted the price and went with it. That's just how it is. Now, can we say that a contract was a very fucking bad contract and that this guy, he made a lot of fucking money that if the contract was written differently, he wouldn't have gotten? Yes. Does that mean that he robbed anybody? No. He saw where the money was and he got it. That's all. That happens in the private market too. It's just that in the private market, there is often a bit more check there because they know that they don't get a fucking second chance, and also they don't have laws to fucking follow in the same way that the government does. That contract, maybe in their specific field, it's a pre-made contract that's literally unchangeable. Like, there's things that you cannot change in it, and that fucks whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, that's a thing that can happen. When I was working for, I think you meant insurance company, the social club could not accept gift from provider and clients for the golf tournament because of the appearance of conflict of interest. Yes. Yes, I know. I have the same rules that apply to me. My view is tainted / skewed by default because of my experience with consulting company and contractors. I see everything in the lens where if something might be fraud, it is. Okay. I think that most people have your view. And I think that's bad. Maybe it's not because of the... I know it's not always the case. Okay, I understand that. The reason why I think your view is bad is because I think most people don't actually value consultant. And maybe that's not your case. But people seem to have this idea that when we hire a consultant to do something, they don't do anything. So any amount of money that is lost to a consultant is bad. So like it's very easy after that to just put fraud into it. But as soon as you agree that consultant actually add a lot of value, because a consultant is the difference between putting your fucking auto project in the wrong place and having to like pay $14 trillion more. Like that's better. Anyway. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just a cuck for the establishment. Hook me. Hook me in. Can we be on the 29th? Can we just be the 29th? I want to know if Mark Carney's a retard. I want to know. Maybe on the 29th I'll be, well, fuck, he fucked up. Or maybe I'll be like, God damn, he's back at it again. With 30 plus years of working, most of them for consulting company, both sides, I saw a lot of abuse and almost never good behavior from those company. Well, if that's the case, you know that's possibly the worst truck you can see besides a fire truck in front of your house. It's the Hydro-Québec truck. But anyway. Okay. Like if I just accept your view, or if I accept your view and what you got from your lived experience, I think that's the best way to put it. If I just accept it and like integrate it, I would say yes. Yes, this is bad. Now, how do we fix this? Right? How do we fix this? We fix this by better contract, by better institutions. That's pretty much all there is to it. The fiasco informatique a few years back was nothing new, only the tip of the iceberg. I think we need to focus more on how to fix things. This all started from the change were made in a way that didn't change anything. Well, that's an issue. But I think that we started from the idea you said, okay, maybe we can return to that. Seclic proved it. I don't fucking know how they made their contract with Seclic, but it was bad. It was bad. But, okay. If we removed that big-ass corruption discussion, what's bad about the Liberals? Provincially. Tuna mayo. You already lost me there. Black pepper, chili powder, crushed red pepper on toast. I'm not much of a tuna or fish guy. I'm more chicken. I like chicken. Too much to the right / enterprise focused for me. If I may, who the fuck were you voting back then? Who the fuck were you voting for? Were you voting for the Parti Québécois? Oh no! Oh no! It was for the Parti Québécois? You already talked about it. Well, I don't know. You wrote it. Like, I remember when you wrote it, okay? I voted Québec solidaire. Oh, okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's okay. You wrote it I look like a fucking retard. I remember that you... Like, I asked you who you voted for, and you gave, like, 3 fucking party, and one of them was NDP. And I was, like, fucking dying. Or no, it was Block. It was it for the Block? That you... Anyway, I died when I saw this. And the way that you said it, I was like, I don't know, maybe he's talking about it as if he had like like he woke up from his nap, fucking hungover, looked to his side, oh fuck, I don't know that woman, and he's just trying to fuck off as soon as possible. The guy's blackout drunk at the polling booth. It's okay. It's okay. We all make mistake. Oh, I'm so arrogant. I fucking hate both of them. God damn. Oh man. I don't know. I'm way more left inclined. I know. Well, no, I don't think that's true. You say you're more left than me. I don't think that you are actually more left. I think that we're probably at the same place there. I just think that there's another, like, axis. Like, if we go left to right, like, we can put a dot anywhere. It doesn't really fucking matter. Let's say that we're there, because I think that we're at the same place. I think that there's another axis. And this axis is, like, faith in institutions. And, like, this is 100%. This is 0%. And I'm essentially, like, 98. I'm here. And you're probably somewhere, like, here. and that's most of our difference. Because whenever we talk about issues, like, I feel sometimes that I would fucking spend away a bunch of shit. No issue. It's just that I trust more part of the government to just work. But I see the value in having strong economy. I see it coming from government spending in health, social services. You see it coming from it. No, I see it in health and social services too. That's a thing that I'm coming around in my economic journey, because I come from a fucking giga right-wing background. Like, as soon as you understand, like, it's unhinged to think, but whenever you stop working, in my brain, you were like a net drag on the economy. And the fact that that's not the case, the fact that just having consumer, like pure consumer, is still somewhat good for the, well, somewhat good, it's a large word, but it can still help the economy. Like, as soon as that enters your brain correctly, then the rest just makes some fucking sense. Like, social services, there's a bunch of investments that we should do there that we don't currently do. Maybe in health, that's where you get me. Maybe that's where you get me. In health, there's some investment that we need in health. It's just the big issue. It's probably because I'm speaking too much about the fact that people seem to think that health is like that thing that if we were to just do a little bit more spending, we just need to get the circle to the green line, guys. Just do a little bit more spending. We are going to solve everything. But the reality is it's infinite. you can spend your way into a catastrophe like the US. And you're not going to gain much. Our system works by rationing care. And we should just accept it. The idea there is, where is enough? Do we want it to be the size that it is? Do we want it to be a bit better, a bit bigger? I think that one big issue that we have right now is that we have not a lot of coordination between the province. So it makes it a bit ridiculous. Now, this is not one-to-one. Oh, maybe I could. Let's say that this is like Manitoba. This is how much they spend per person in healthcare. And this is Quebec. Everybody, like there's going to be a bunch of issues because Manitoba is going to be so much better at spending their fucking money than Quebec. Right? They're going to spend so much more. There's going to be people, workers going from there to there. There's going to be a bunch of resources that are going to be stolen. But if we were able to merge parts or like most of how the healthcare works throughout the provinces, we could end up with a more efficient system where these frictions between multiple systems don't exist. So like I think that there's a big issue there that needs fixing, that we don't give a fuck about currently, which is triggering. Like one place that I like a lot is medication, because they actually did this. They just said we're going to negotiate all together for medication. I like that. Health equals research, prevention, and healing in order of importance. Yeah, I would kind of agree there. Like you've heard about my idea for Ozempic for all Canadians, okay? I'm fucking unhinged on prevention. Like, think about it. If we give Ozempic to all obese Canadians, and the, like, knee replacement surgery, like, that would currently be at, like, 50 per 100 person, and the, like, gastro thing, heart bypass, that's, like, 10 per 100 person. Like, I'm sure that one surgery costs more than a lifetime worth of Ozempic. So why the fuck are we thinking about this? Just fucking pay for the Ozempic. To Elf, yes. Like, I would have put it inside of research, but yeah. If we give Ozempic to a woman tax food that is not healthy. Ooh! Ooh, that's a strong mix. Ooh boy, I would like to watch the fucking McDonald's stock price fucking... Can we have a... Like, what's a purely Canadian restaurant that's going to get its shit fucking kicked in with that one? Like, just think about Mark Carney coming out. Okay. Ozempic for every Canadian. Tax on sodas. And it will be paid by the tax on sodas and unhealthy food. McDonald on Suicide Watch. Tim Horton on Suicide Watch. Wasn't Tim Horton bought by a Brazilian company? We're good to go, bro. We're good to go. If someone has Ozempic, eat 2 batch of gâteau vachon, that's not right. I don't think that's possible. My understanding of Ozempic is that it fucks around with your desire to eat, and you end up eating less, even though you don't consciously think about it. Like, technically you could... okay, sorry, I misworded that. You could eat 2 boxes of gâteau vachon if you wanted. It's just... people won't feel the compulsion to. Tax on everything. Oh, like vaccines. Sam, I'll fucking hot ban you. I'm memeing you. For whoever the fuck is writing for the court, okay? Sam is not an anti-vaxxer. Some people that are overweight don't eat because they are hungry. Yes, but it goes, like, hand in hand, right? Like, okay. People that are... Maybe I'm retarded. Maybe I just never felt it. Do people... Does it really exist? People that eat their feelings, like they feel bad, so they eat? Do they throw up? Like, do they eat so much that they throw up? When you said I do, I never throw up. Okay. And it's okay that you eat your feelings. But some do. Okay. If the Ozempic, like, I understand that the direct implication of reduced appetite, that's not how we write that. Anyway, that reduced appetite is that you won't have a compulsion to eat, but it's also that you will have a revulsion to eating more, right? If you, like, okay, my methylphenidate, my Foquest, my ADHD medication, it's making me not want to eat as much. And even if it's like purely chemical, and it's not literally my stomach being smaller or some shit, I will feel worse eating the same quantity that I would have before. So like, even if I force myself to eat the same quantity, like the pleasure is not there. So why would Ozempic not like do this for most people? It would kind of fix it, because instead of going into like eating a fuckload of chips in order to eat your feelings and $2 of gâteau vachon, like it would probably not do the fix for you. Like, maybe then we can make an argument of maybe those people should be followed a little bit in order to, like, don't go into fucking drugs to fix the same problem. I don't know. People do eat their feelings. Yep, absolutely. I agree on that. I don't anymore. I go reduce stomach and intestines, so lose more than half my weight. To help me lose weight. Oh, did you have the surgery? Or are you going to have the surgery? Or are you talking about something else? If you eat by habit while watching TV, you will continue eating while watching TV. Yes, I got surgery. Oh, okay. Well, that's a big fucking thing. Can I ask when did that happen? Just to like gauge when that change happened. I guess that's interesting to me. God damn. That's one ass change, my friend. That's one big ass change. It was 5 years ago. Okay. But like... Oh man, okay. Gain 15k. Yeah, and that's normal, of course. Like your stomach will re-expand and your natural compulsions will come back online, even though it's always good to like fight it a bit. But yeah, then I was about to say, if you were to eat the same quantity but you cannot, you would die. It's physically impossible. So you cannot make that comparison. Okay, where I wanted to go before, I have like 15 things in my mind. Like, oh man, that must be so triggering for you. Like, I'm sorry, I would be so frustrated if I was you. And there, I go through the most. Like, we gotta admit, that's a heavy fucking process that you went there. Like, it takes some balls. It ain't a small thing to go with the surgery path. And now there's this fucking magic pill that, like, well, not pill. Well, now they are doing it in pill too, but, well, they are releasing it soon in pill. Anyway, that essentially is like a magic fucking drug that fixes it. I would be triggered anyway. ADHD med cut appetite will active, but activate the eating one when it's stopped. Yeah, that's kind of true. Like, the at the end of the effect, of course, you're gonna feel it come back more, and because most people, I'm sure it is for you too. Well, you would have to. It's going to be at the end of the day that you're going to have that come back. Yeah, it's not good. I don't know. Have you there are side effects after the surgery. I have to take extra vitamins and medication, not absorb as much because of disorder intestine. True. Yeah, it's a big fucking thing. Like, props to you for going through that to, like, fix your life. But, like, what if we had 15 to 66? We go to 81 kilograms to pounds. Oh, you're at 5'4". Goddamn, okay. I don't fucking know how much I weigh. Give me a second. Mm. 70 kilo? God damn. I'm 6'1", bro. That's not good. I need to weigh more. Okay. Okay. 182 centimeter. What is this in feet? Give me the feet. Like, I'm so lucky with my problems. Anyway. Okay, so you're near me. God damn. You have a good weight, Sam. Good on you. Not too big, not too thin. Good on you, Sam. Good on you. And I'm having the discussion fully knowing that we're, like, at least the people in the latest part of the chat, not the third person, we're, like, big nerds. I have a bit of a belly. Sam, we all feel this way. You don't, okay? Look at me. Look at me. You don't. You don't. Okay. You're good. You're good. Just wait. Keep that fucking weight. Keep it. Don't go to restaurants. Not too much. It's like the surgery. It's not for everyone. Yep. There's people that have, like, bad reactions to it. But from what you're saying, Like, maybe the Ozempic would remove the end day issues, right? It would help with that. Nah, I'm gonna become a twink someday. Too tall to be a twink. Isn't a twink, like, don't you need to be tall to be a twink? Slim physique. No body hair. Compared to bear. Okay. Okay, don't read the Wikipedia on twink. Don't do it. He looked it up. Of course I fucking did. Who the fuck do you think I am? Ozempic would be excellent if it comes to education. Yep. But like, the idea of like the federal government paying for it, the idea of that is it would also take care of, like, to me there's two big issues when it comes to medications or anything medical. The number one is that there can be a perceived stigma, right? People can say, oh, he's using Ozempic, what a fucking loser, right? So that's one. Like, it's retarded. It's just like ADHD drugs, it's just like anything. People think that medication means weak. So, like, the government essentially saying, hey buddy, go take it. We want you to take it. It kind of, it helps, whoops. It helps fade the stigma a bit. And the second one is like the questions that should not exist but that still exist. Like, is my insurance going to pay for it? Will I always have my insurance? Do I even need to care about insurance? How much it costs? Which brand is the one that costs the more? Like, all of that goes out the fucking window. So it helps a bit, right? It removes, or at least greatly diminishes, these two. So that's why I would want them to push it federally and make it fucking blanket. You want it, you got it. Oh, the number of time people had bad comments about me. Having a surgery helped me lose weight. Same with ADHD. Yeah, there's this vision. Like, it's... MB, it's getting better, okay? It's getting so much better. Like, in the generation of Sam and I and Matisse, we have passed a lot of steps. It's not as bad as it used to be. So I'm happy about this. But there's still some amount of stigma. Like, there's... It's always going to happen. I couldn't breathe from laughing so hard. Can I get you to look up furry Kamala Harris? XD, so much... Okay, I'll fucking do it. Can I actually put this on my main screen, or will I get fucking glocked? Let's try.
Okay, Zadie, what do you think of—
What the fuck? Sorry, I got ganked by whatever the fuck that was. I don't know. I'm not finding anything. Are we talking about the hyena? You can get me to search anything. Sam, I trust you to not give me, like, fucking viruses, so... No, I like Kamala. I like my Kamala. But you know who I like more? Oh, bro. Oh, no. You think you just fell out of the coconut? What the fuck? Oh man, that's kind of good. No, it wasn't it. She's a German Shepherd, apparently. No, I like all of them. Okay, I like all of them, but I like Kamala. I like my Kamala. But you know what I like more? It is my queen. Okay, Hillary Rodham Clinton. Okay, my queen. She needs to run for president again. She's coming back with VP Kamala. The women who have been wronged by the Trumpster. She comes out and she says, my promise, day one, I'll execute Trump on the public square. Okay, I would be in. Can I have my Hillary? I want Hillary. Goddamn. You know what? She can come to Canada. Okay, she can become Minister of International Affairs and have the most aggressive foreign policy ever seen in Canada. Would you see fucking Mark Carney being out there making deals while having fucking barking Hillary? Anyway, my love for Hillary is infinite. So all of that because I talked about fucking bank rate. God damn. I just want it to be April 29th. I want to know if he's a retard. Is our prime minister a retard, guys? I don't know. My trash stock. Where are we? We're at oil is going up thanks to Trump. What the fuck is this? President Trump at the rope line. What? What's a rope line? That sounds like a... President Trump is on a suicide watch. He's going to kill himself. Oh man, that's a bad fucking... That's a bad research history. Okay. What's a rope? Why? Rope line. A line of rope. Purpose of moving people of... What? President Trump at rope line. We will open the Strait of Hormuz very soon. 2 weeks. He will say 2 weeks. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'll see what happens. Bro, this is so fucked. Anyway, I think we're done for today. My daughter is going to wake up. Well, she's probably already woken up just looking through the fucking like ball of her bed. She's like that. I DM Lou the last of my cursed knowledge. I don't believe you. You have way more cursed shit in the background. Obama follows gay fat male furry.
So if you go to the Roka said ACAB, the Dragon Fear, fat male gay furry page, and go to the followers, and then scroll all the way down to the very bottom and go up slightly, you'll find the verified Barack Obama. If you were to open this in a separate window, you will see he is the verified United States President Barack fucking Obama.
Okay, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. I mean, fat furries, Obama approved. All right, that's all for today. I'm getting the fuck out. I loved having that discussion with you all. I will vehemently battle the honor. Okay, the honor of the government. MB, you have besmirched my honor of the government. Anyway, loved having that talk with you. Sam, thank you for being here, and Metzis, we'll talk later, I guess. So, Bye-bye. Love you all.